Let's go, girls.
At my first cardiac rehab appointment after my open heart surgery, I take note that I'm a foot taller, 30 pounds lighter, and 40 years younger than my cardiac cronies. They are darting around the walking track, ripping it up on exercise bikes, and snapping along to Shania Twain. I stand out like a turd in a pool. Judy, our facilitator, has on hiking boots, a stopwatch, and a 4-liter water bottle on her person. Walk half as fast as you usually walk, she says. Session 1 involves turtling around the track. Sessions 2 through 10 involve picking up the pace and turning our lives around. I'm walking slower than a bride down an aisle when Dr. Doug, one of the cardiac bigwigs, notices me smiling ear to ear and says, "Spunky." You are spunky. Not many can go through this process with so much spunky enthusiasm. I think it's because I'm a writer, I say, keeping a pen and paper between me and my vulnerability. Spunky writer girl, he cheers. I shoot him a thumbs up and keep on turtling. Well, another one of my cardiac cronies pulls up and jogs on the spot beside me. "Janna, I'm Wayne," he says. "What are you in for?" "Open heart surgery," I say. But before I could flaunt my resilience or mention it's been an only ever empowering open heart surgery, he says, "What kind of open heart surgery?" "It was an aortic root replacement," I said, not wanting to get all medical about it. What I wanted to say was the surgery was a whirlwind. It was empowering. It was funny. I wanted to tell him about the time my nurse Cindy yelled, "I was not drunk at that wedding and I resent you for saying that." I wanted to tell him about the time my mom changed the "sitting is the new smoking" sign to read "shitting is the new smoking." My God, did it take work to draw a poop emoji. I want to tell him the funny parts, slap a knee, put him at ease, make sure he's okay, make sure he knows I'm okay. Wayne asks, "Just an aortic root? Just a root?" "I had a heart transplant," he says, "whole heart. Count yourself lucky." Wayne jogs off, leaves me sucking the hind tit. I want to tell him that mine was a major open heart surgery, not just any old open heart surgery. That I'm only 31 years old, that it's congenital, that I only found out I had heart troubles 1 month before the surgery when I was diagnosed with Marfan. Do you even know what Marfan is, Wayne? Neither did I, no. Thankfully, Wayne catches up to me as if to give me a chance to redeem myself. "Oh, hi, Wayne." "How long were you in the hospital?" he asks. Boom. 5 nights after the surgery, and then for another 5 when, well, I wasn't as good at healing as I thought. 2 months for me, Wayne says. Count yourself lucky. And I can see where this is going. I can see I'm not going to beat him at a round of the saddest, sorriest surgery, but I can take him at a game of most resilient patience. Have I ever enjoyed the healing process, Wayne? My gosh, there has been a lot to celebrate. I can even remember getting caught fist pumping when my nurse gave me permission to go to the lobby for coffee. You should have seen a Wayne full-blown fist pump. My gosh, did she laugh, Wayne. Go for coffee? They let you go to the lobby? Your condition certainly wasn't as severe as mine. Since I was not allowed off the floor without 2 nurses accompanying me. That said, he mentions, the nurses have never been so impressed with one patient. You should have seen me walking the halls. Wayne 1, Janna 0. Some people can leverage anything. At my next session, I'm stretching my mind, my back, my body, when Dr. Doug charges over, mentions he appreciates my spunky enthusiasm, and wonders if I'll do him a favor. Absolutely, yes. Anything. He's heading to an international medical conference in Toronto with experts flying in from around the world. They're coming from New York, from Sweden, from Norway, everywhere. The whole time he's speaking, I'm thinking he's going to invite me to speak, to share my perspective and enthusiasm with the medical masses. I would love to contribute. He says, you have something to offer. And I start wondering if they'll pay a lump sum speaking fee or per diem, hotel, a few meals a day. I'd probably skip breakfast. Maybe they'd be impressed by that. I would love to contribute, I say again. As he says, well, it's no big deal really, but would you mind if I snapped a picture of you? It would be lovely to include an image of a woman with Marfan on my PowerPoint slide. I'm happy to. I hold tight to the idea that the heart surgery was an only ever empowering process. I'm happy to on one condition. I would love to palm that basketball on the floor behind you. I'd love it to be a sporty action shot where the viewer would really see me in motion. I played basketball at university. I'd love to show that part of me. I grab the ball and we head out to the hallway for the shot. I realize the white hospital walls are a little too clinical for the empowering shot I imagine co-creating. I also realize it's a men's ball. It's too big for me to palm or hold up over my head. Instead, I hold it straight out in front of me, smile, tilt my little head from side to side, then set down the ball, hold out my wingspan, and let it sink in that I am tall, lanky, and disordered. Don't you worry, Dr. Doug says. I'll black out your face. That night, I replay the words, black out your face, for hours on end, trying to get a handle on who I am as this person I've never been before. Black out your face, he'll black out my face. I have a blackoutable face. Desperate to reclaim my body, I shoot Dr. Doug an email. After giving this some thought, I'm hopeful that you'll use the image with my face and that you'll mention some details of my account to humanize the story rather than presenting a medical narrative of what a body with Marfan looks like. Going for broke, I insert a paragraph about playing basketball, cracking jokes, and playing pranks. I tell him I was raised on humor and hamburger helper. Please, Dr. Doug, please use it with my face. I debate capitalizing it, but decided that would be tacky, so instead underline the words with my face. At my last session, I slow down to walk with Wendy. She is turtling it on session 1. I am turning my life around. I'm able to hit the gas, leave her in the narrative dust if we need be. What kind of surgery did you have? Wendy asks. I had open heart surgery in the fall, I say. Wow, open heart surgery, wow, she says, wow. Wendy offers recognition. It's like she can see me, feel the weight of the experience. She knows a thing or two about dialogue, knows well enough to riff and respond, not to interject with a count yourself lucky, hun, or, well, you're better now. Wow, she says again, open heart surgery, as I sigh with the relief of recognition. But hun, she says, how many valves did you have replaced? Well, one, but, not replaced, they managed to repair it, I said. Just one, she says. I had 4 valves replaced. She is smug, sorry for herself, and putting her little brakes on the mentorship offer. I also know without a goddamn doubt that I can pummel her. My surgery was bigger than a piddly quadruple valve replacement. I pull away. So, Wendy, how long were you in the hospital? 3 nights, she counts. I tell her I was in for 5 nights after the hospital, or after the surgery, and then again for 5 when my own heart didn't know how to heal itself. It was the first time I put it that way, quite frankly. I didn't tell her that my heart was bouncing off my ribs, that my pulse was clocking in at 170, or that my vision went blurry, but mentioning my actual heart is a big deal. It's me embracing my inner pity, it's me announcing my vulnerability, it's me putting the words broken and body together. It's also me realizing that I don't have to smile or giggle or flaunt my enthusiasm, that I too am worthy of care or claiming space or walking away without always putting others at ease or caring for others at the expense of myself. Wendy, well, she goes to check her blood pressure. Me, I keep lumbering around the track and comforting myself with the realization that people can't always see me the way I want to be seen or care for me the way I want to be cared for, that conditions of care matter and don't always give rise to intimacy or connection, especially with stock positions like patient and professional, but that the conditions can be transformed. I almost have it all figured out and all intellectualized when another one of my friggin' cardiac cronies saddles up on the track beside me. If you haven't had a code blue, you have not lived, Tony says. I catch my breath from laughing and wait for him to ask about my medical status or how long I spent in the hospital. Instead, he asks, what do you think of the Muzak? Muzak, I say? It's not even Shania Twain, he says. It's elevator Muzak. It's like they're trying to soothe us or stimulate us, he says. It's like a cruise ship, I offer. We say one thing to say the next, riffing and responding. He switched from triple coffees to 1 milk. I switched from wine by the bottle to health store tea by the pot. He renamed the hospital eggs the yellow puck of sadness. My feet hung off the end of the hospital bed as my nurse Cindy yelled, I was not drunk. We say one thing to say the next, the real stories, the ones we want to tell. We make one clumsy, imperfect offer after another. When Dr. Doug yells, hey Janna, the conference went well. Oh nice, I respond as I keep walking and talking and celebrating and grieving with Tony. Don't worry, Dr. Doug yells. I blacked out your face.